Alex and Joey too. Got a show for me and you, games and films and tunes they'll skew. Some laugh, some groans, it's nothing new. Things I hated, let's dive in. Games and movies, where do I begin? Tunes we love, but still we spin. Laughs and cringes where we win. Da, 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 da.
Boys,
Hello.
get on this one. Welcome back. This is Thanks I Hate It. It's been fucking ages, guys.
I know.
The last time we recorded was nearly a month ago.
It's exciting to be back, and then I'm going to go away in 2 weeks.
We were so incredibly prepared, and now we're not.
We built up this amazing buffer to say, look, Tim's got all of these amazing life things going on. He can just do them. And he's still doing them, and now we need to catch up again.
Yeah.
So,
but with not much time.
yeah. So welcome back to the Game Club Pod. My name's Joey. This is our series Thanks I Hate It, where this time I have brought a game to my lovely co-hosts Tim.
Hi.
And Alex.
Wagwan.
That I think Alex wouldn't enjoy. The game I've chosen is because Alex has expressed his dislike for Souls-likes. And I thought, this game is sort of a Souls-like. It's got Souls-like elements. I think it's Souls-like adjacent, which is good.
It's made by the Souls-like guys.
Yeah, and you know... the
Mr. and Mrs. Souls-like.
Mr. Souls and Mrs. Like, yeah. And, you know, Alex really loves Night Rain. He said that's the best game ever.
And the child they keep in the basement, Armored Core.
Stop it. So I thought, I'll get the guys to play Sekiro. Right. It's been a while since we've done Teehee. Tim, what would you like first? Would you like the stats about Sekiro, or do you want to talk about how you felt about it?
Let's do stats. Let's give the audience some preface.
We're numbers guys here. We like numbers.
We're data-driven.
We all about them numbers. So, Sekiro is a game developed by FromSoftware, published by Activision. It was released on the 22nd of March 2019, and a separate release date more than 18 months later for the Google Stadia. Rest in peace.
Right.
It is out on PlayStation, Windows, Xbox, and the Stadia that's dead. So, rest in peace.
Sorry,
Sekiro,
Stadia owners.
All three of you.
Is anyone a Stadia owner? It's not a physical thing, is it?
It was a little... I think it was a little device. Or was it the controller that is connected to your TV?
Yeah. It's a controller. Anyway, Sekiro is an action-adventure Souls-like game. Souls-like in very small letters.
Small.
It is made by the same guys that made Dark Souls, made Bloodborne, made, you know, all the games that you know and love that are Souls-like. It was nominated for 9 different award categories in 2019. It won 6 of them, including being nominated for the BAFTA Best Animation, Best Game, Best Design and Technical Achievement, and winning the Navigator Costume Design Game of the Year, Original Action, Dramatic Score and Writing in Drama. And it also won 2019 Game Awards, Best Game of the Year. So with all that in mind and how favourably people found it, I went on Metacritic, 9 out of 10 across user reviews, loads of praise on Xbox, loads on PC, loads on PlayStation. Alex, what did you think of Sekiro?
So, as you said, I don't like Souls-like, and it is purely a skill issue, because generally speaking, every Souls-like game that I've tried, I've really liked the music, the monster designs, the environments, all of it. Really, really nice. It's just the gameplay is not for me. I understand entirely that the whole point is for it to be difficult and challenging, to learn patterns and be reactive and blah, blah, blah. But I just can never get on board with them. And I feel like Sekiro took all of the things I like about Souls-like games and got rid of them and proceeded to make the bits I don't like feel worse. I know you said that this is a Souls-light. This felt so much more frustrating than when I tried Dark Souls or Elden Ring. I don't know why. it just felt so much worse. I did not have a good time with it.
Can I ask, when you say it felt so much worse, what was it that actually made it worse?
I don't know. Everything in the combat felt like an absolute slog. Even just like the silly little people running around that you just kill for free money, it felt like a slog fighting them, because all they did was guard, and you can break guards, and you can do this, that, and the other, yes, but it just all felt like everything felt just like it took forever, and it was all clunky. The controls were things like climbing ledges, hanging off the ledges, using your funny little grappling hook, all felt very... it didn't always work when it should have done. It almost felt like it was bugged at times, because you had to look to get one of the branches, you had to look at it from a certain angle while Jupiter was in retrograde and your brother was in a different country type thing. It all felt, like I say, it just felt like a slog.
Okay. Tim, I already knew that.
Take what Alex said and turn it upside down. I love this game. I think combat is fast and fluid. The parrying system and the fucking sound it makes activates something in my monkey brain. It's smooth. The combat is varied. You have to actually pay attention to animations. And I know I'm the guy in Dark Souls who will find the greatsword at the earliest convenience and hit everything until it's a fine red mist. But this game rewards precision. It rewards attack anticipation. It rewards exploring. You can approach enemies in a myriad of ways. Yes, it's not as how do I put this? Open in the character building like Dark Souls is, because obviously Dark Souls leans a lot more into the RPG, where you could be like a knight or a samurai or a pyro or a pyromancer or a wizard or a sorcerer or something. This, you are a samurai. There is no deviating from that. However, the world is a lot more open, and not to the extent of Elden Ring, and I think that's a good thing because it shows intentional design. In that, for example, they're one of the very early, not bosses, they're like a mini boss thing. It's like an ogre that's basically being beaten by two guards at the top of some stairs, and the ogre basically just goes apeshit and kills them. But you can approach those stairs in about maybe 10 different ways, and every single one offers different advantages and different disadvantages, depending on your preferred playstyle, depending on the items that you have with you, depending on to give you an idea, the lone wolf that you play as, or is it Grey Wolf or Lone Wolf? One of the two. Lone Wolf, thank you. The Lone Wolf has a prosthetic arm, and he can swap out this arm for a number of attachments, and that, well, you'll always have your grappling hook, the mobility is always there, but you can swap it out for things like a smoke cloud generator or a fucking gun, whatever you want to do. But again, that will play into your preferred approaches to small enemies, to big enemies, to entire traversal scenes, to exploration. I think the story is wonderfully told with its flashback sequences, getting real art housey with that, going all black and white. Love that. The only thing I don't like about this game, and it is the one thing that has stopped me from finishing it ever, because I've beaten every FromSoft game, of the Souls series, including Elden Ring, and even Dark Souls 2. Aside from Sekiro, I get stuck at the snake. I'm not, the
snake?
The giant snake?
The snake that you one-shot?
Yeah, I can't do it. I've tried and tried and tried, and I know it's basically a cutscene, but I can't do it for some reason. Something in my brain...
The second time around, right?
Yes, yeah.
We'll get onto this in a minute. But...
Yeah, and I know this game has got a wonderful set of enemies. I really want to get onto the ogre that rips off its own head and uses it as a weapon, which I know is a hilarious boss fight because it turns into a gank fight with a second ogre that does the same thing. But I can't get past the snake. I don't know what it is, and it feels like it should just be a fucking cutscene with how much of a build-up it's got. I say it should feel like it should be a cutscene. Not in that I think they should lower the difficulty, in that every time I see someone do it, it looks fucking effortless. Effortless?
Effortless.
Thank you, effortless. But I can't do it. I don't know what it is. It's just a brick wall. I see grey and starts shaking and spitting on the floor.
Good. How long did you both play for this review? Sorry, TA.
I played for 5 hours this time.
Okay, Alex?
I only got 3 hours in and decided to nearly break my controller out of frustration.
What did you play on, Alex? PC or
PC?
Not Steam Deck. By the way, it runs very well on Steam Deck. This is what I did mine on.
Sorry, bubble. Tim, how far did you get on your 5 hours?
Not very, I'll be honest. Where did I get to? I'm casting my mind back to a couple of weeks ago here.
Okay.
I want to say, you know the big valley where you see the snake for the first time? There.
That took you 5 hours.
I could be wrong, but I'm thinking back to a couple of weeks ago.
Bruh. Alex, how far did you get in your 3?
Good. I got to Juzu the Drunkard in the first flashback that you have. You know when the village is burning?
Yeah.
Wow, that's further than I thought for 3 hours. That's good.
Well, but yeah, I gave up at that point because just that ogre, the chained ogre at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
I nearly stopped there because it was just infuriating me because I tried fighting it, kept losing, looked up a little bit of a walkthrough and it was like, oh, get the fire pellet, the firecracker thing. It'll upset the ogre and it'll make it so much easier to kill. I'm like, right, okay. I spent about 20 minutes looking for the fucking vendor that sells the firecrackers to take it back to the dying old man who gave me a new arm. And then I went back and I was like, right, I've got this now. This firecracker thing, I've only got so many uses, but it's gonna fucking pop him. You do it and you throw your little firecracker out in front of it and it cries for about 2 seconds and then gets back up and just continues. I think I might have accidentally cheesed it a little bit because I fought him up and down the stairs because every time he did any of his jumps or his grabs or anything like that, they always missed on the stairs.
Nice.
That's fine. I mean, I think the thing to take away from certainly any Souls like Sekiro included is to not get too wound up at the boss fights. Certainly in your first, I would say 4 to 5 attempts at them. That is all for learning and pattern recognition. I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, maybe if I had a brain that functioned, I'd be able to do that. But
we have a friend. One of Dan Squared, not the one that I always talk about. This is Dan H of
Hi, Dan H.
Views. And I remember a few episodes back, Dan talking about him actually playing Sekiro, and I thought, wow, that's so strange. I did a whole episode on Souls-likes with the Dans, and I got the feeling that they didn't like any Souls-like. But I remember him saying that he didn't mind Sekiro. So I messaged him today and said, hello, sir, I remember you said you played Sekiro. If I remembered rightly, can I just get a couple of your thoughts on the game for an upcoming episode? He said, of course. It's been a while, but it's the only Souls-like I preserved. My God, it's the only Souls-like I persevered with to a point. I believe I got to the boss of the village level, which is the corrupted monk. Like I said, it's been a while, but that might be really early in the game. It's not that early in the game, Dan. I might even go back to it next time I feel like some good self-flagellation.
Good word. How many points is that on a Scrabble board?
All of them. You win, Dan.
Damn.
So I think that's a favourable review because it says I'll go back to it. But I thought it was interesting, and I'm going to play what I thought. Obviously, I have beaten Sekiro. It was difficult, and I think depending on the way that you play Souls games, you will either have a really good time or a really shit time with Sekiro. So Sekiro is different to Dark Souls, it's different to Bloodborne, and it's different to Elden Ring, in that whilst parrying is a thing in those games, it's the main combat mechanic in Sekiro. You can beat entire boss fights without landing a single hit as long as you parry, and then you get an icon to give a death blow, which is a one-shot. And if you go into Sekiro expecting to play Dark Souls or Bloodborne, you're going to have a really shit time.
Just remembered where I got to. Sorry, that's why I looked surprised. I got to the Phantom Butterfly in the burning basement.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Nice. Love Lady Butterfly's boss fight. It's very good.
Yeah.
I played this for 12 hours, and I got quite far. I beat the one that rips its own head off, Tim. It's not an ogre, it's an ape.
That one.
And then in the first phase, it's got a big sword through its neck. Actually, I should have said spoilers. Spoilers for Sekiro.
It's a 7-year-old game at this point.
It is, but someone might want to play it. There is a whole quite well-told story, more so than in any other Dark Souls. There's more cutscenes, there's more dialogue. The parrying mechanic absolutely makes it. There is vertical traversal much more than any other Souls-like other than Elden Ring. And I think that these things together, whilst it is a Souls-light, if you go into it expecting Dark Souls, it's not going to be what you expect. I always think with these games, there's a barrier. And I think in Sekiro, the thing that they've done is made the barrier. There's 2 barriers, and they're really early on. So the Chained Ogre, I think, is an enormous barrier to players. I think it tells you that you can't go in there gung-ho. And then the next one is the first main boss of the game, who is called, and I've had to write this down, Gyobo Masataka Oniwa. He has the most epic entrance in any boss in history.
Is he the one on horseback?
Yeah, I'll put the sound clip in here. Remember that in the edit, Joey.
My name is Gyobu Masataka Oniwa! As I breathe, you will not pass the castle gate!
And the reason that these are such big barriers to entry, so the Chained Ogre has teaches you about movement. It teaches you that you can't stay still in this game. You have to be moving, you have to be parrying. And Alex, I think what you said cheesing, I think is the right way to play Sekiro. I think it's about being aware of what your surroundings are. You're much more likely to evade an attack on the stairs than you are if you take it down to the flat ground. Gyobo Masataka Oniwa teaches you 2 things. One, thank you. One, you need to parry, and the enemies can be a lot quicker than you. And 2, if you want to cheese this game, you can absolutely cheese the fuck out of it. Nearly every single boss in this game has a way that you can one-shot them. And so, for example, I'm going to say it again, Gyobo Masataka Oniwa, I think I've said it different every single time. If you get in there quick enough, there is a tower that he destroys, but you can climb the tower and just jump over the wall, and he falls off a cliff and dies. And that kind of thing is prevalent throughout Sekiro.
Thing is, to me, it seems like an intentional design decision, because if it happened to 1 or 2 enemies, sure, you could call it an oversight. But when Joey says there is a way to do this with basically every boss, he's not kidding.
Yeah, there's only a couple where it isn't, and I think that's probably I won't name them just yet. They're quite important to the game. But Sekiro, I think, if you're looking for a story in a challenging single-player game, I don't think you can go much further wrong than Sekiro. Alex might not agree. He didn't enjoy it, which is fair. I don't know what your expectation going into this was, but I understand why this game... There's no one who goes, it's an alright game. It's either an absolutely brilliant game or the absolute worst game. And I think both opinions are absolutely fair, depending on 1, your expectation, and 2, what you want out of video games.
I think for me, I went into it because I was told it was a Souls-like, I was told it was a FromSoft game, so I think I did go into it a little bit expecting it to be Dark Souls, Elden Ring-esque, and tried to play it that way, because what you're saying about constant parrying, that wasn't me. I was quite aggressive in my fighting style, which is clearly a mistake, and obviously something I would have learned if I'd continued on a bit longer, but because I tried to play it like a Dark Souls or anything else like that, it just annoyed me.
Well, I've got no shame in admitting the first time I played Sekiro, I really struggled to get into it. And it's only because I like FromSoftware games that I carried on and persevered with it. I got to the Chained Ogre, and I think I spent about 2 hours just getting thrown off a cliff and beaten into within an inch of my life before deciding I don't want to do that anymore. And it took me time and time again to go, no, I need to get into it, no, I need to get into it, no, I need to get into it, and tell myself to do it. It's the same with Dark Souls 3 with the Abyss Watchers. It was the same with Bloodborne with Father Gascoigne. It was the same with Elden Ring with Margot. Which one's the one on the bridge?
Margot.
Margot. Thanks, Tim. And I think when you go into a FromSoftware game expecting one thing, it's really hard to get into it, and I think that's what this game taught me more than any other. But do you want me to just run through the story really quickly?
But wait, Joey, before you do that, we're missing one key mechanic that we haven't talked about.
Die twice bit.
The die twice.
Well, I mean, it's in the story.
Okay, let's talk about the story then.
I think it's in the story. I've got 15 points here.
Oh, my word. That's a lot of points.
They're not very long points, don't worry. The key thing to note is that there are multiple stories in this game. You can do, I think there's 4 different endings, but branching story will lead to one of these 4 paths, and it will determine the story that you get. It's not like there are multiple endings, but one of them's green and one of them's blue. In some of them, you fight like the devil, and in the others, you beat up an old lady. That's kind of the levels.
Well, I know which one I want to go for. Bring me the old lady.
I was going to leave it up to the listener, but now we all know. So you play as a shinobi named Wolf, who is a bodyguard sworn to protect a young lord. The young lord, called Kuro, is a divine heir possessing the power of immortality through his bloodline. The land he oversees, Ashina, is on the brink of collapse, and his rulers seek Kuro's power to save it. Early on, Wolf is defeated by Genichiro Ashina, and in the fight, Genichiro cuts off Wolf's left arm. He takes Kuro and disappears. Wolf is rescued by the sculptor and fitted with the shinobi prosthetic. It's a versatile mechanical arm that Tim and Alex have both spoken about. Now, Wolf sets out to find Kuro and reclaim his honour, and that's sort of the start of the game. Kuro reveals that he wants server immortality, believing that it corrupts the world, and to do this, Wolf must gather key items like the Mortal Blade, which can kill immortal beings. Along the way, he fights powerful enemies, including corrupted monks, shinobi, and other mythical creatures, one of which I really want to get on, because, Tim, if you haven't fought the second, or haven't beat the second snake, you won't have seen the coolest boss in all of FromSoftware. He confronts his adoptive father, called Owl, who tries to manipulate Wolf into abandoning Kuro. And this is where the story branches. You can either obey Owl, leading to a much darker ending, or stay loyal to the young Lord Kuro. If you're loyal, Wolf continues the quest to end the divine heir's immortality. It leads to a final confrontation with Genichiro and ultimately Ishin Ashina, who is resurrected in his prime. Batshit. The whole thing is batshit. Depending on your choices, the story ends either from tragic sacrifice to breaking the cycle of immortality and everything in between. At its core, the story itself explores loyalty, duty, the cost of immortality, and living in a war-torn world. So my points didn't cover dying twice. Talk to me, Tim.
Dying twice on the surface of things is a very straightforward mechanic. If you have the shit kicked out of you enough, you will fall over and have a little nap. But you have the option to wake up once, because you can just have the shit kicked out of you again. Or if you were this close to beating the boss, and you die, you get a second little chance. You don't come back with as much health, but you know you're angrier. You're running on rage and adrenaline. As a player, it doesn't affect anything gameplay-wise. But the point is that if you get absolutely fucking mullered by a boss, you can just be like, nah, I'm gonna start that fight again very quickly, or you can be like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can do it while being alive for the second time.
Well, one of the key things with the dying twice is one of the Souls tropes is your stuff is where you left it when you died.
Yeah.
You can pick it up. If you choose to die twice and you don't defeat the enemy that killed you, your stuff ain't there if you die again.
Mm-mm.
So you have to make a choice whether you want to keep
Is that why I kept not finding my stuff?
Yes.
Ah.
You have to make a choice whether you can retrieve your stuff, or if you think you can beat the enemy that killed you, you can go back and live again and kill it back.
It's a bit of a gamble.
It is a gamble.
But I have a question, Joey, as someone who has beaten the game. Does Sekiro take from Demon Souls in that the more you die, the more it alters the world? No. I'm really glad they banished that shit to Demon Souls.
So, Alex, I don't know if you knew that mechanic. In Demon Souls, they had a thing, and I can't remember the term that they used for
The world light.
The world light. So the more you die, the darker the world light gets, making the game harder. So the more you die, the harder the game gets. It's the opposite of what they did in Resident Evil 4.
That's the opposite of what it should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also, it has story implications.
It does, yeah. It
has ending implications and also unlockable implications. Sometimes items are locked to specific gradients of the world light, so you have to have died just enough times.
But if you go over that, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
You can up the world light, you can brighten it, but it's like a pain in the arse to do.
Yeah, it's like operating a dimmer switch with one of those like claw grippy things on a stick.
What a bizarre mechanic!
It's fucking weird, and it's only ever stayed in Demon Souls, and I don't know why Blue Point brought it back for the remake, but God love them for doing so.
God love them for trying. But yeah, so back on Sekiro,
The game we were here to talk about.
The game we're here to talk about. Alex, I don't know if you'll have an answer for this, because I think there wasn't many that you came across. I think it was mainly mini-bosses for you. Tim, what was your favourite boss that you fought?
I mean, like I said, I didn't get past the butterfly this time, Lady Butterfly.
Any playthrough.
I mean, Lady Butterfly is a pretty fucking cool fight. Something about beating the shit out of someone who's basically a demigod in a burning building. Pretty damn cool.
As she flies on high wires above you.
And poisons the floor.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool, man.
It's cool.
But also Horseboy. I'm a big Gobes, as Joey called him. Sure. Yeah. I mean, his entrance is fucking iconic. He basically destroys an entire fucking fortress wall to get at you. It's awesome.
We've all done that, Tim. It's not that...
Oh, it's cool.
Tim?
No, because I don't remember how it goes.
My name is... And then he says his name.
Goebbels.
No, not Goebbels. No, he's a different one.
Gerbils is what I said.
Okay, good. Maybe I'll cut that bit.
You're both talking about apes that pull their heads off and horses that destroy fortresses and magical butterflies and all this shit. And I'm sat here thinking, did we play different fucking games? I know I only got 3 hours through, but so far I've had man with a bit more armour, man with a gun, man with a cannon, big man with big sword, big angry man chained to wall, and that big drunk man with big sword, and that is about it.
This is a bit like...
Go on, Tim.
This is a bit like when we were playing Yakuza 0 and Slade, when he was on the pod, said that he just beeline the story and do any of the side quests, and it sounded like a completely different game.
But I did say that Tim hasn't experienced the coolest boss in all of FromSoftware's work. And it's going to be another one that sounds like a completely different game. At the top of Fountainhead Palace in an alternate dimension.
God love FromSoftware.
Good, we're in Death Stranding universe now.
Is the Divine Dragon.
I've heard about the Divine Dragon. I've seen the fight. It's cool looking.
Now, the Divine Dragon is not a difficult fight by any stretch of the imagination. But what it is cinematic as hell. You are in the clouds. Fountainhead Palace is just a cherry blossom tree with what looks like the mutilated version of the Dragon Ball Z dragon.
Shenron.
Who holds a sword. And, oh my god, it's so cool.
You sure we played the same game?
Well, I don't know, you didn't like it, so maybe not.
Well, maybe.
I would implore anyone who hasn't seen the Divine Dragon fight, it's very far in the game. If you don't have the time or you don't want to play Sekiro, just Google it. It's fucking cool, man. It's unbelievable.
He's looking it up, everyone.
He's looking up. Share your screen, Alex. Let's see let's get a live reaction. Oh, okay.
I'll watch that later.
All right, bolster that then.
That's fine. I think Sekiro is one of my favourite FromSoftware games. I think I actually prefer it to Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3.
Really? You know, way early in the podcast, you said that Dark Souls 1 was your favourite game of all time.
No, I said Dark Souls 3 was my favourite game of all time.
I thought you said it was Dark Souls 1.
No, because Dark Souls 1 I played after 3, and going backwards, you can see the quality of life.
It's a bit rough.
No, Dark Souls 3 was, I think the more I play Sekiro, the more I fall in love with it. I've still not beaten all of the bosses. There's a whole story about rot within the world.
Yeah.
That I still need to get to the bottom of. There's all of these. So FromSoftware love a mechanic where if you fill a gauge, it instantly kills you. And in this, I can't remember what the status is, but there is a bunch of enemies that are based entirely on that, and there's quite a lot of them, who, I think it's fear, and they are these headless, big fat boys with glowy pink swords, and they absolutely destroyed me. So I would like to get good enough to beat them. I finished the game. Ishin Ashina is another incredibly cool boss fight. I think this game has the best boss fights out of any Souls-like. The Japanese setting that it's in is impeccable. The Divine Dragon, oh my god, it's so cool. It's in the bad ending, so I would intentionally tank my game to go and fight the Divine Dragon. I love this game. And the Headless Ape boss fight, when that hits, it fucking hits.
For me,
it starts off as a monkey with a sword through its neck, and it jumps around and it swipes at you and it throws shit at you, quite literally, like monkeys do. And you defeat it, and it's a really tough boss fight, and everything's still. And then all of a sudden, it uses the sword to chop its own head off, and then it attacks you with the sword in one hand and its head in the other. And it's just unbelievable. Sorry, Tim. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, in terms of my placement for games, like amongst the FromSoft Souls series, for me, it would probably go top of the list, Bloodborne.
Yeah,
absolutely. Then Dark Souls 3. Then this. Then Dark Souls 1, Elden Ring 2.
I'm basically the same, but I would swap this and Dark Souls 3.
You put Bloodborne on top.
Number one. Yeah, Bloodborne's still
it's number one.
Unbelievable. Alex, what about your favourite FromSoftware games?
My list goes Elden Ring, Night Rain, and then nothing else.
And then this, because you've played it.
I've played Dark Souls. To be fair, Elden Ring was okay, the bit I played of it.
Okay. You enjoyed that more than this?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. Well, boys, thank you for joining me on Thanks I Hate It.
You're welcome.
We don't do scores here, do we?
No.
We don't know what's next either, do we?
No.
We have
See you next week, everyone.
No, we have recorded it. So join us in watching the Need for Speed movie. That'd be good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Knock off Temu Family.
It's all about family.
Except for with Aaron Paul, so it's family.
Family, bitch.
Very good. Well, we'll see you next time for cutscenes. And, God bless.
Tim, Alex, and Joey too. Got a show for me and you. Games and films and tunes, they'll skew. Some laugh, some grows, it's nothing new. Things I hated, let's dive in. Games and movies, where do I begin? Tunes we love, but still we spin. Laughs and cringes, where we win.
Alex, I've signed off every single episode I've done since you took the piss out of me saying God bless with God bless.
I've noticed.